we wanted to find somewhere where there was a level of accountability and transparency that kind of mirrored our inner soul of the organization that we wanted to set up, or I wanted to put together. And I think this is one of the things which, the journey to B Corp is so important, because I think if you're looking to B Corp to make you good, you're probably on the wrong path towards it. You have to kind of have the desire to actually want to be a difference and make a positive impact in the world first. And then B Corp gives you a really cool framework and community and network and movement to then kind of craft, mold, and shape your organization in a way that allows you to really reflect on it effectively and then kind of report on it transparently. So that was kind of my entry point into it, was that I kind of knew I really wanted to sort of develop an agency in a way that was different, that had a greater purpose than just kind of profit, that was a little bit more orientated towards kind of working in harmony with the wider world around us. B Corp gave me a really cool bunch of people and framework and movement to sort of help shape that into reality, I suppose.
I think the onus is on the individuals. If you sign up to become a B Corp and you say, hey, we want to do things differently, we want to respect the planet in a way, we want to work differently, you also have to think about whether your behaviors as a business are encouraging the community you say you want. You have to think about how you are showing up each day, each week, each month. Are you being an active member of that community? Are you reaching out? Are you making people feel welcome? Are you making people feel included? So I think the onus is definitely on the sort of the wider structure of B Corp, but I think it's also on the individual as well.
The truth is, we've never really felt like we belonged to the community. As we know, belonging is this most fundamental human need, but I always say there are benefits to not belonging as well. And that outsider feeling, I can really connect with. It speaks to much of my life story. And from a systemic stance, in order to evolve, requires you to be disloyal to your current system. So I say that because I think it can be powerful to stand on the periphery of systems. And being alone here in Dubai for so long has kind of forced us to be relevant to those outside of this, quote, club. Believe me, navel gazing and echo chambers in the community are definitely not an issue from here.
The thing I will say is being a part of the B Corp. I'm not sure if I'm still the only dance studio, but when I started, I was the only dance studio, and many dance studios here wouldn't even think about being a B Corp. But also thought that I would kind of be not seen because I wasn't your typical small business that would apply to have a B Corp certification. And I felt really seen when I applied to attend the summit on scholarship, because I was a new business. I hadn't started making money yet, but wanted to be in the presence of other leaders, in the presence of other organizations that were doing amazing things, that were also certified B Corp, and was welcomed. During the pandemic, they reached out to me, which I thought was really incredible considering the number of B Corps there are in the world. They reached out to me to make sure I was doing okay and asked me to take over their social media page and promote my classes and promote my business. And I thought that was amazing, because I didn't think that they recognized me or saw me amongst the hundreds of companies that they had. And then also reaching out to me during a time when race relations were really tense in the US and around the world, when there were so many protests going on and things were happening. They reached out to me to see how I was doing, how the business was doing, and told me about ways that they were supporting people of color. And I really appreciated that and felt like I was more part of the community. And even though they had reached out with various small groups that I had not taken advantage of being a part of, because of my busy schedule, they continued to reach out and let me know that they were supportive. And that was something that really added value. And as I'm actually going through my recertification now, it made me want to do it. It made me want to sit there and go through the very lengthy process of recertification, but knowing that being a part of a movement that is so vast and is so broad and has such a wide reach, that they still saw me. I felt seen.
Can't we all just get along, you know? Definitely, we can be a dysfunctional family, but ultimately, before we can get to the dysfunctional part, we must function as a family. I think that's what I strongly believe. We must function as a family. We must be interdependent. We must rely on each other. We must support each other. We must be accountable. And then, as that family unit, we can be dysfunctional.
Today's conversation, the noise that we're beginning to hear, means now is the time for cognitive diversity. This is the incredible opportunity for growing pains that all human beings, all businesses feel when they expand beyond a certain point, to now bring in diverse voices so that we can become more inclusive and we stop hearing words like, well, that doesn't apply here, well, that is not legal here. And so it becomes independently verified, globally benchmarked, but perhaps more relevant.
A community where you feel like you belong because you are able to be genuine in your leadership and your the effectiveness of your business.
It's a point of focus for my innate activism, if you like, or, you know, I have a fundamental belief that business can be used as a force for good and can reshape the economy from a divisive linear one to a distributive circular one and bring about a regenerative sort of revolution. That's a lot of buzzwords, but like genuinely, that's kind of my, and so B Corp's a great channel. So I guess I'm looking at the community more as a movement than a community. I think is where I'm coming at this from. So I think there's a difference there, and that's where my kind of bit lies.